everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of Blue Blood on the Main Line. I'm your host, Curtis Sumpter, and I'm here with my third guest, Reggie Redding. So, Reggie, man, what's up, man? I'm glad to have you on the show. What's good?
Man, not much, man. Same old, same old.
Nah, it ain't the same old, man. You're a new father. You just got into coaching, man. Tell me about that, man. What kind of life this is now, life after basketball.
Man, life after basketball has been very, very interesting, man. I'm a new father. I got a 7-month-old daughter now, and I'm getting into the coaching side of things.
So it's no sleep on both ends, because you already know if you're a new father, there's no sleep with just a regular 9 to 5. But the coaching, it's the same thing. It's like having a kid as well. You got 15.
It's like you get home late, you ready to just chill. Maybe even I get a little break during the day. I want to come take a nap, but it's playtime and there's no nap. But it's all good, man. It's all good.
Now it makes you appreciate, I guess what our parents had to do as well. We didn't see the behind the scenes, the grind, and then get home and still got to spend time and all of that, man. It's kind of crazy.
I tell you this, I got a much different, much more respect for my parents now, for sure.
Most definitely. Definitely. So what's going on, man? So I want to tell everybody who don't really know, Reggie Redding, the new Villanova fans. I always do this. This is my thing. But I'm sure a lot of Villanovas know who Reggie Redding is, 1-5. But anyway, man, tell everybody, where you from in Philly.
Man, so from Philly, born and raised, North Philly to be exact. Went to St. Joe's Prep for high school, went to Nova for college. Now I'm Philly from the core out, Kurt.
So what's the difference? I don't think I asked you, what's the difference between North Philly with the TH and then North with just the F? I don't know. What's the difference, man? Explain that.
People that's not from Philly, they say North Philly.
Okay.
When you're from Philly, you say North.
Oh, that's the difference. All right, I wasn't sure if it was just a section or whatever, but
it's just staying. People that's not from the city just call it North. They call it the correct term.
Nah, all day, because I stay getting corrected. I'm like, wait, everybody from the same spot. It's
Yeah.
all good though. It's funny though, man. But so boom, class of 2010, correct?
Yep.
When you came in, you came in my 5th year. It was your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about that, man. Getting recruited by Nova, coming to the program, just ranked number 1. How was it?
It was crazy because like growing up, I always wanted to be I wanted to go to Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted because I love AI. I grew up watching AI, and I wanted to go to Georgetown and got some recruitment from Georgetown, but Coach Wright came to my school, right? My high school. And it took him a little while to offer me. He came and he sat down, he goes, "You want to know why it took me so long to offer you?" And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I just didn't think you were good enough." I wasn't sure. If you were good enough or not. So I looked at him, I'm like, "What you mean? Like, that doesn't make no sense." So one of my biggest reasons was to come there and show him that I was good enough to play there.
Right. No, that's funny, man. He told you the absolute truth. Mm-hmm. And he took a risk, by telling you that, because you could have been like, I'm not coming here, Right. I mean, I actually, I can share something like that, not with him, but with another coach, feeling like, what do you mean you don't want to offer me right now? And I kind of took that personally, but ultimately, I'm glad with my decision.
Yeah, but coach, personal though.
So when did you actually start playing ball? Did you start playing ball prior to going to the prep, or was you, playing all throughout your childhood?
No, I was playing since I was like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. My pop Ben got me started. Mm-hmm. He was a huge ball fan, so he introduced me to the game, and I guess I fell in love with it from the beginning. So I played since I was a pup. That's all I remember ever doing. I played baseball for a little bit, football for a tiny bit, but it was just hooping. Mm-hmm. Growing up, like you find anything to hoop on. You make the crates, We had the trash cans.
Trash cans.
And everything, it didn't matter. We found a way. I remember
Exactly.
in the house, me and my little cousin, we had the laundry basket set up. We had a little full court going on in the living room. We was good with some balled up socks, Kurt.
Oh, I already know. I got yelled at a couple times. Stop playing ball in the house with no ball, but just doing what I can. Sometimes you can't get outside to the park; it's cold. But rest in peace, man. To your pops, man.
Yeah,
good dude, man. I'm glad he introduced you to the game because you become a legend. And I remember, playing and you coming up to the games as a recruit. Seeing you, him, and your cousin, at all the games, front row, behind the bench, and coach saying, "Hey, man, Reggie Redding, be coming here soon." And so we get to my fifth year, your freshman year, you come in. I had Shane on the show before, and I was telling him, that year was very unique for me because I had to get close, with the new class because it was such a difference between age. It was the seniors, and then it was the underclassmen.
Yeah.
And I said it was like a whole group of Philly. I said so the dynamic changed. It went from New York to a Philly dynamic in the locker room, and it was kind of cool. But one of the guys that I got close with, in that freshman class was you. And definitely, I think I might have shared some things with you, but I saw myself, in you, how you went through your freshman year. Things weren't working the way you wanted to work. You wanted more time. Couldn't really find time on the court, but practice was looking really, really good, and just trying to understand why, things are translating, from one into the next.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Man, that was like, it was hard because, like you come from high school and you used to hooping and doing what you do. And then you come into it. Well, I want to say this. Another reason I went to Nova was I knew like the style of Nova and Coach Wright didn't really fit my game. But at the same time, I knew if I was able to add that to my game, then I could be a pro. Because I felt like I had the fundamentals, I had the IQ, I knew how to play the game. I just add a little bit of bop to my game, all that. And I'm like, listen, if I go to Nova and I can get some of that A-Ray and Randy Foye in my game, bro, I'm
right.
I'm a pro for sure,
Oh man.
So like that whole freshman year was just a big adjustment, trying to play a different style of basketball that I wasn't used to playing and get acclimated. And then even like the way Coach Wright likes you to play, defending, diving on the ball, all that, playing hard. Like I didn't know anything about that coming out of high school. I just was thinking about getting buckets, you know what I mean? And I remember like I wasn't playing my freshman year that much, and we was in practice. And like the ball is rolling towards the sideline, about to go out of bounds. So I was going to dive for it. Like you could see me like about to dive, but it went out of bounds. So I stopped. So Coach Wright runs up. Yeah, Reggie, let's go. So I'm thinking I did something good. Oh, he told me about the dive. I'm like, yeah, I'm hyped. He goes, you almost dove. So next game, I might almost play you. Oh, Kurt. Kurt.
He's very sarcastic. Very sarcastic. I know.
To this day, that still makes me mad. To this day.
Oh man.
It still makes me mad.
I'm the only brother. I'm still the only brother from Brooklyn that want to shoot jumpies. You know what I mean?
Everybody goes to Brooklyn and goes to Philly to get a tough guy. I guess the only soft guy from Philadelphia. How is that possible?
Softest recruit he ever had from Brooklyn. Oh man, funny. Coach definitely knows how to push them buttons, motivate you. Never crosses the line, but definitely sticks it right there in the side. Like, all right, I hear you.
Man, he knew exactly what to say.
But I definitely saw your frustrations, and like I said, I went through the same thing. And my game was like your game. Very skilled, fundamental. Just give me the ball in my spot. Let me do me. I'm good. The style coach wanted to play. I wasn't, used to playing that. Where it was just pick and roll, and I was like, well, how do I fit in? So it was like an adjustment, you know, and I had to understand how to find my game within the way how he wanted to play,
Right.
you know, and you know, it was just constant work. So that freshman year as well was just kind of tough. But I
Yeah.
remember just talking to you, just saying, "Hey, man, stick with it. You know, keep playing hard. You know, because it was obvious you could play. You know, so I wasn't concerned about, you know, if you weren't good enough. I knew it was other little things, you know, that he might have been, you know, wanting to see more out of you,
Right.
as well for me, as well as for others. You know."
Also, like that year, remember, like I forget who came. It was me, Tone, Kasim Drummond, and I. Remember Andrew?
And yes, and right,
We were
right.
the only four that had committed at the time, and I was the only guard. And then remember, Scotty ended up committing to us like late because he was supposed to go to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And all that happened with Kelvin Sampson, and then Scotty ended up coming to Nova late.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, then when you got here, he came in as a freshman as a guard, and he came in flaming. You remember how
he came in
he
flaming.
came in flaming. You know how he came in. So you know it's hard. You know what I mean? That kind of took away from, I guess you would say, my opportunities also. But
Mm-hmm.
like I couldn't be mad or upset because he was putting up 40.
Right.
Like, yo, this dude is a killer. Like
Right.
I could see if somebody was getting the minutes that I didn't think deserved it, but this dude is nothing I can go to Coach Wright and say, yo, I think I should be playing over this dude. And
Right.
no possible way. It's no way. You know what I mean? So that was another little wrinkle in it, but end up turning out, man, like me and Scotty ended up being roommates that year, and we got close, and we actually had a way better relationship now than we had back in school together.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Like those stories, you know, when I hear, you know, that grind of that freshman year, that transition,
It's real.
it's real. You know, I remember like feeling like you, and then, you know, after every 3-hour practice, you know, having to go on to the other court, you know, Coach Jones, and we doing another like 30-40 minute workout. And I'm just mad at the world, you know, because I'm like, I should be playing. You know, I gotta prove and show, you know, but it's those other things. I don't think he was questioning, you know, my offensive talent, because I was like, I'm showing it in practice. Like, what was going on? It was probably, you know, maybe my IQ on a defensive end, or other little things like me not diving. Like, no, I'm not diving on the floor. Like, that's something that was an adjustment, you know, like,
I'm not taking
you
charge.
know,
Like,
yeah, like I mean, I'm not, you know, to sound cocky, but I was like, yo, I was kind of the man, bro, you know, playing. So that wasn't my job. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my job. I played a lot on the blacktop.
right.
Definitely wasn't
You
scraping up
ain't
my
out
knees.
on the playground floors, you know, on the playground.
It's not a habit. Right.
But it's funny because, like you said, you think like you don't really understand or see what they see, and then as you get a little older, and I guess you figure it out a little bit, and you buy into what's going on. You look back and you be like, I wasn't ready at that time to play. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready for what I thought I was ready for. I wasn't playing as hard as I thought I was playing. You know what I'm saying? So you get to see it, and you're like, all right, now this is what it is.
No, definitely. I mean, my problem was like he would always say, being solid. Like Solid Club was. I was a struggle my freshman year, man, being on Solid Club, man. I was turning that thing over, boy. I was trying to dunk on everybody. I was trying to. He was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, slow down. I just thought I had to come in there 100 miles an hour. You know, once I slowed down, it was like everything, you know, just worked out. That's one thing he taught me, just how to slow down. We would spend time on the court. So your freshman year, man, I want to say was fun. Like I told Shane, it was because of the age difference, you know, us hanging out and everything. You, Tone, those guys, man, it was a pleasure.
Yeah,
So
it was different.
So I leave, you know, and now it's your turn. You know, it's your sophomore year. You know, how was that season? Like, you know, you guys had a struggle. Did you guys bow out kind of early that year?
No, so sophomore year we went to the Sweet 16 and we lost to Kansas, and then Kansas went on.
I lost money on that game. I remember that.
They was tough though.
Reg, I'm not gonna lie, man. That was a highlight tape on us, man. I felt really, really bad. I saw alley-oops off the backboard.
Yo,
I
I
think I
remember.
got 360.
Yo,
I was like, how I could imagine. I kept saying to myself, Coach is going crazy right now in the locker room. I was like, I don't even want to know what he's saying right now. It was like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I'm in France. Checking it out.
Yo,
Tell me about that.
You know how after the tournament they have the video, like the one shining moment video.
Yeah.
I swear the whole video was just our Kansas game, bro. It was like dunk, alley-oop, dunk. Like we were so young. Remember, we didn't have any seniors that year.
Right, because the huge and Dante and Wayne were just now becoming like captains. Scott, right, I got you. Shane, all right, I got you.
We was all juniors, and Wayne had no seniors that year, so we was young. We started the season all right, and then I think we actually ended up being like either the last team to get in the tournament or one of the last teams to get in the tournament because we upset Clemson in the first round. Clemson was a 5.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep, we upset Clemson, and then Siena upset somebody. I forget who, and we ended up getting Siena in the second round, and we beat them. And then we got Kansas in the Sweet 16, but they kicked our ass though. That was like men versus boys.
Bro, I had to hear it the next day.
Wow, who you were playing from?
Oh my God, I was over in France, man. I was talking big mess, man. I don't gamble, man, but I was putting all my euros up. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. Man, guys coming in the next day. La, 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 la. I was like, man, I don't want to hear it, man. I'm just
that was
they just like doing dunks. I was like, yo, this is I said we definitely got at least 2 or 3 guys drafted.
From that team, for sure. From that game.
From that game. I was like,
I think, from that game for sure. Who was all on that team? They had I know Kareem, what was his name? Kareem Rush?
Brandon Rush. Was it Brandon Rush?
Brandon Rush.
Julian
Wright, Darrell Arthur. And then even remember they had a big fella, I think Sasha Khan. I think he even touched the league.
Sasha Khan, they had Russell Robinson. Was he still there?
Robinson was there, yep. He was the point guard.
Yeah, it's New York dude.
Yeah, they had a solid team.
Yeah, I was a low-key Kansas fan. You know, they like my, low-key fan, but now obviously now we play Nova, but man, oh man, that was crazy.
That game. I remember when y'all played them at the Wells Fargo. Did you play that game? Or
I played that game. We smacked them by like 30.
Oh, that was crazy, bro. I remember that game. I was hyped. You know what I vividly remember? I think A-Ray did something crazy and he starts throwing up his VX. You know how he did? Bro, I was going crazy in there.
A-Ray, he might have had like 2 points. So the first half, I think I got hot. And the second half, and he had like 2 points the first half.
Oh, he went.
The second half, he had like 25.
He went.
He got crazy hot. And I simmered down, just kind of played okay, whatever. But that's what, you know what I mean? He got super hot. He must have like 5 threes in a row, something crazy.
I remember that game, bro. I still remember that game.
So what was that summer like, man, after that, going into your junior year now? Because I already know them summer workouts. The last game in like that, oh man, I can't imagine what coach was going through playing it.
I mean, we wasn't really supposed to be there anyway. You know what I mean? So it was
who says who? Says who?
I told you we was the last team to get in the tournament.
What was that record?
Our sophomore year? Sophomore year? Yeah. I forget what our record was, but we was the last team to get in the tournament.
Wow.
Bro. So we wasn't supposed to. We got in as a 12 seed, and I told you we beat Clemson. They were a 5th seed. We upset them in the first round. We wasn't even supposed to be there. But we ended up getting there. But it was just like a learning thing. But the good thing is we had everybody coming back.
Yeah, that's what we had the year before. During my time, we had that 1 year. Yeah.
After the North Carolina loss, y'all all came back. Yeah. Yep. So we had everybody coming back because we ain't had no seniors. And Scotty was thinking about leaving, trying to either go to the NBA or not. But he ended up coming back. So we had that year when I was a sophomore, that's when Fish, Stokes, I think it was just Fish and Stokes, right? And
I mean, Cheek.
now Cheek came in. Cheek was with Malik. Like that was my senior year.
Oh, Cheek. Oh, so Cheek is a year behind Stokes?
2.
I think I'm way off. Okay, yeah, I was over there for a while overseas. Okay, here we go.
Actually, yeah, 2 years behind Stokes. Yep.
Okay.
But so Malcolm came in with them, but he ended up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Malcolm Grant? He came in with Fish and Stokes, but ended up going to Miami. But so they was the sophomores, and then we became the juniors, and then Shane, Dante, Frank, and Dwayne became the seniors. So that's the junior year, and that's when we went to the Final Four that year.
Yeah, that's when Dante was playing lights. He was solid, like
I remember
20 and 10 every night, 2 blocks.
You know how Dante was. You know how that dude was. So that summer before that year, Coach Wright had took his car, bro. When he took his car, he couldn't do nothing. Coach Wright, you call his mom. You know how Dante's mom was. Coach Wright said, "You're only going from the gym to the dorm. Gym, dorm." But yo, he became a pro.
That's what I'm saying. Yo,
he became a pro. He went from the gym to the dorm. Dante used to be going crazy. You know him, bro. He used to be going crazy in there. He tried to get the bike. They took his bike. Nope, you can't.
Yo, I'm getting him on the show. I was gonna get him on the show anyway, but I'm glad I got that information because I'm gonna sneak that in there.
Ask him. Make sure you ask him about when they took his truck, bro. That's funny.
Oh my God, Dante was, like I said, I know how Dante was. Mm-hmm. Dante was very outgoing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say very outgoing.
Adventurous.
Very outgoing. Very outgoing, right?
Yeah.
I remember he rolled up there one day and he had that blue truck. I was like, yo, they must be doing something for Old Navy outside the gym. Because, you know, when you walk in Old Navy, that blue truck. I said, who truck is that? Dante's like, that's my truck. I was like, Dante, that's your truck. I was like, you really from the country? I thought you was just up the street. But he had that swag. He was just whatever. He had to be country, but adventurous, but not. He just, you know what I mean, funny.
You know how dudes get to the league, they make some money and they buy a crazy car. I think Dante bought like a RV, a farm in an RV, like a traveling RV. He could like sleep in different cities.
I know. That dude probably got all his money. He probably got all his money. I know. He live in Washington right now. We talk every now and again, man. That's funny.
One time.
But, oh man, I'm gonna definitely get him on this show. That's funny. So your senior year, what did that look like, bro? Like, you know, it was you. So like, Ott's not there. I'm trying to think your senior class. Ott's not there. Because Sim isn't there, right?
Yeah, at that point it was just me and Scotty.
You and Scotty, okay.
But like, so after that Final Four year was crazy because like we started off the Big East not that good. I think like 1-3. We started off the Big East. We lost a couple games, and then like this is when Coach Wright wasn't playing Dwayne at all. He told me.
I know, same, yeah.
So then Dwayne started playing, and like he just kind of turned our team around. I know, bro. We was playing in.
I know.
Who was we playing in? We was playing against Notre Dame. We had lost at Notre Dame, and the game is over. Coach Wright comes in the locker room. He's snapping, this, that, and the other. He's like, you know what? The captains, from now on for the rest of the season, this is your team. Y'all taking over. I'm done with you guys. This, that, and the other. So we go straight from Notre Dame. We had a game in South Florida. We go straight to Florida. We have a team meeting, just the players before that game. And you know how those meetings go, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody get what they got out. This dude crying, dude's ready to fight, dude's hugging. You know what I mean? It's just everything just
a lot of emotions all poured out.
So we go out against South Florida the first half. It's blah, blah, blah. It's halftime. And Dante says something. And then I remember that second half, bro, we just and I think we might have won like 10 Big East games in a row, straight from the league on the road. And it came down to a point, like, I think we had who we beat. We almost lost to American in the first round. We was down 20 at halftime to American in the first round. Then we cracked UCLA. They was in the paper talking trash about us. We cracked them.
I remember watching that game too.
The UCLA game.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
It was funny because like they was in the paper. They like, Nova think they the beast of the East. We about to come down there and show them how we really do this, that, and the other. So, when teams play against us, they try to keep up, but they can't do it for 40 minutes.
For 40 minutes.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
So like before the game started, we like, all right, come on, let's go. And I remember the first play of the game, Darren Collison come down the lane and Scotty take him out the air. Boom! Like
set the tone.
Set the tone, baby.
Set the tone, baby.
Put them down on the ground. And they like, oh, okay, let's go. Right? Like maybe like a couple minutes go by, a couple plays go by. Dante come to me. He like, yo, let Josh Ship get by you. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, all right.
Not to hurt nobody, just to not get
not to hurt nobody.
Not to hurt nobody. Nice hard fouls, just to set the tone. We are here. We do not promote any violence on the court. Go ahead.
I let Josh Ship go by me. Boom.
Right. That's called a calculated risk. Reggie risk getting sent to the bench by letting somebody go by him.
I was doing what my senior captain asked me to do, man.
Exactly. But the captain said, Coach, I told him. Coach is like, all right. So anyway, go ahead. Let's paint the picture.
We ended up beating them by 20. Mm-hmm. Next game, who we get? Oh, we get Duke. Mm-hmm. We in Boston. And you remember like when we used to come out the tunnel, we in there, we used to do our,
yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. Dude, it was none of that. It was so quiet. And we walked out and we legit walking out and Dante looked back like, Duke, they're not ready for us. That's all he said, bro. We went out there and we
I remember.
Oh man. And I remember because you like me, I grew up like in my year in Philly, it was always Wayne, Gerald, and then me. Like Wayne Ellington, Gerald Henderson, and then me. Well, I told Coach before the game, I said, Coach, I want to stick Gerald. Like you got to understand this when we young, this is what we do. Every time we play against each other, we guard each other from when we was younger. And we just banged and battled. And we ended up getting them. And then we beat Pittsburgh. Scotty hit the buzzer beater. And then North Carolina killed us. North Carolina rocked us.
I didn't bet on that one. Not that I had no faith. I didn't have no faith.
It was legit.
It was legit. You know what I mean? It was legit.
They had 6 pros that year.
Six pros. Mm-hmm. But I want to tell people who don't know, because throughout your years there, Scotty got a lot of attention. Like Fish, maybe the other guys got attention. Like everybody else, Dante, certain guys. But and our Villanova, family, like we all know, like if you want to say that there's one guy that holds everything together, the guy who can do everything, the guy you can put in every position, a guy who can be a coach on the floor, a guy who can be a scorer, a guy who could be a defensive stopper. You know what I mean? Whatever you need like that will be you. And there's not many guys, I want to say, through coach, position that I could say could do that. But there are a few. And, you got Mikal Bridges, one of those guys, doing those things. Josh Hart, one of those guys who was, could be put in, plugged in multiple positions. But that was you, Reggie. You was the guy can shoot the 3 ball, when it was there. That wasn't your game, but if they gave it to you, it was going down. Right. The mid-range was your game. You rebounding, running the point.
We had Scotty, you knew what Scotty was doing. We had Fish. Fish was capable of going off. We had Dante. We had so much, and like I always been about, for me, it been about winning, Like I just wanted to win. Right. And like, all right, what we need to win.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you did. Yeah.
This what we don't have, or this what we need. All right, cool. I'm cool with it. As long as we get in these W's, I'm fine with it. But if if I'm so-called whatever sacrificing my game and we losing, then it's not gonna work.
Right. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
But Reg, like, but your sacrifice made you look good to people who know basketball.
Yeah, that
Maybe
was
not to the fan, you know,
right.
it might not look sexy, but the people who know basketball,
Yeah,
like, give me Reggie.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Give me this guy, you know, give me Ryan Archidiakono.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, give me those type of guys. I don't care who the other four is. We all right. We gonna be able to compete, you know. So
Right.
I definitely recognize that in your game from a young age, and that's why I always was a fan. And I remember, you know, you're a pro. You know, now you in the real world. What we talking about? Where was your first stop at?
Cyprus.
Nice weather.
That's
Crazy.
that's the only thing that was good about it.
Nice weather. I know. Nice weather.
And we just gonna say nice weather. That's what we're gonna
What
say.
was the basketball like, man? Was he over there with Shane? Was Shane over there with you, right?
Man, yeah, he was there, but he ended up leaving early.
Okay.
He ain't stay out there that long. So he ended up early. But the basketball was not great, Kurt.
Not great.
Not good at all.
So would you just so we gonna fast forward. That was a one season, right?
Yeah, but the good thing is, like, the team I was on, we ended up winning like the cup. We won the league and everything. It was the first time they ever did it. So I had a good season. I was putting up numbers and my team won. It just, the league wasn't that great. Like professionalism.
Yes. Terrible.
Even, the talent wasn't so great. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got through that. And then I ended up in Germany the next year and ended up playing in Germany for the next, 4 seasons? As soon as I got to Germany, it was like night and day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. What sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pay Instant approval, withdrawing cash winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. So in the beginning of this podcast, you said, I know if I go to Nova when I was recruited, like I know if I go there, I'm watching it, I know I'll learn what it's like to be a pro. Right. One of the things coaches tells everybody, parents, kids, you come there, I can't promise you're gonna make it to the NBA, but I'm gonna teach you how to be a pro. So now, once you leave Nova, you don't know what to expect. Now you're going thousands of miles, across the world. You're like, oh my God, now it's all up to me. You start to understand. So those habits that coach always talks about, developing those habits to make, people successful in the most difficult situations. Now you over, in Cyprus, it's crazy, not professional, with all those things you're going through, and you still got to be a pro at the same time. Tell me about just having those habits and how that helped your career through that season.
Man, that got me through. That got me through, bro, because at the end of the day, it's like you still had a goal you was trying to, get to attain. So the fact of like coming from like a school like Nova and like the habits that Coach Wright instilled into us, the hard work he instilled into us, that got me through. Because it's like once you kind of become a pro, it's kind of on you to making sure you're doing what you got to do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the coaches can tell you what it be, but you're a grown man. And it's like, if I don't feel like lifting weights today, I'm not lifting weights today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, or a lot of stuff might be optional, or it might not even be the best, like, situation, like I walked into the weight room and it was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I wanted to paint a picture to people. Like, so playing overseas, not every league, has a great budget, and depending on what maybe type of reputation you have, when you go over there, you might go to a team with a lower budget. So having a real structure of a team, like you said, some things is optional. Guys might have little sides. Like the team members aren't working on their game as much, but you still have to stay focused and say, I gotta
You got
run.
to, because it ain't gonna work. And like I kind of kept up like the same little regimen we had at Nova. Like we ain't have a strength and conditioning coach my first year when I was in Cyprus. So I got in contact with like strength and conditioning coach from Nova and the dude I used to use in Philly, and I had them write up workouts for me.
There you go.
And I would stick to it. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go. Just like how we do it Nova 2 days before the game or whatever. I kind of stuck to that. And even in terms of like in practice, practice wasn't great. You ain't getting no individual work unless you do it kind of yourself. I stuck to getting 50 before practice.
Yeah, get 50. Yeah, those. Yes.
All that stuff, bro. I start to it and it helped me like lock in. Cause at Nova, practice start, we getting our 50 and then it's on. You gotta be locked in. So all them days where like it's like, man, here I go. I gotta deal with this bull crap. Once I get my 50, I'm locked in.
It's like a warm up. You get your 50. Then when you're done. It's a cool down.
Cool,
you warm up. Still, you get your 50 to leave. Yes.
So that hard work helped me out for sure in that situation. But then once I got to Germany, it was a totally different situation. I mean, my team in Cyprus, they did the best they could do. Like they made sure I was cool living situations. Like I got nothing. It was just the league wasn't as great. But once I got to Germany, bro, it was like they were so professional. Everything was like, and I'm like, man, this is totally different. I go to the games, it's packed. You know what I mean? And it's like.
So was your first stop in Berlin?
No, my first stop was in Tübingen, a small city in the southern part of Germany. I was in Tübingen, and then I went to Berlin for 2 years.
So Tübingen, I know you killed it that year, correct? Or did you guys win the cup that year?
Nah, we didn't, but I was hooping though.
You was hooping though, right?
I was comfortable. I'm like, yo, I can't go back to a league like Cyprus. If I'm gonna be playing, I gotta make sure I'm able to play in leagues like this. And it was just more open. We had 6 Americans on my team. Mostly every team had about 4 Americans, so the game was a little more what I was used to. And like me, I gotta be comfortable off the court to be able to play comfortable on the court. If I ain't comfortable where I'm at, where I'm living at, or how I'm living, I'm not gonna be able to be myself and play on the court. And one thing about Germany is you feel comfortable. And you as soon as you step in there, it's like I feel like you've been there before. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that helped out. That helped out a lot.
That it's so funny you say that because my first experience playing overseas was in Germany, and this is going to transition to our next segment. And it was like I didn't know what to expect getting on that plane. I jumped on the Lufthansa Airlines. So I get on the plane. They're playing like all this music, Dankeschön, they serve them in first class. I'm like, everyone's speaking German on the plane. I'm like, oh man, where am I gonna go? As soon as I land, I was like, I feel like I was here already. You know what I mean? Like you just feel, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a nice transition, easy experience.
Easy.
I was in the city of Cologne, nice city. Everything was good.
You was
the only thing that wasn't good
though.
What'd you say?
You was playing for a crazy coach in Cologne.
I'm about to say that's the only thing that wasn't good about Cologne was I had this crazy coach, which then, wound up being your coach, which then helped your career even go to the next level.
Man.
So tell me about this coach you had. You know what I'm saying? How did you even play for him? How did that happen?
This dude name was Sasha Obradovic. I remember playing against him and he was coaching. And I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy. Yeah. So then he called me, right? My agent called me. He goes, hey, Alba wants you, Berlin. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, is Sasha still the coach? He like, yeah. I said, I'm okay. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. He like, just talk to him on the phone. So he calls me and I'm like, coach, take this with all due respect. I think you're a good coach, but I can't play for a crazy coach like you. I'm like, sorry. And he's like, no, I changed. I've been going to therapy. They told me I need to do this more. I need to do this more. So like, bro, when the season first started, you could tell he was trying. Like when he wanted to get mad, he would start like counting 1, 2. This how psycho he was, right? 2 weeks into the season, it was gone.
It was over. It was over.
And I'm like, yo, what's up, man? But he was so crazy and we practiced so much and so hard, but I was in the best shape of my life, bro. I was in fantastic shape and I was running circles around people. And those my 2 years I played under him was probably the best 2 years I had and set my career up for me. So he was a blessing and a curse.
Yes. I remember, talking to you that summer. We were talking and I was still playing. And he was like, you told me, he was like, yeah, so Berlin wants me. And I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, Sasha. And I was like,
he was like, no. I remember, bro, we was in the Davis Center. And you was like, yo, who the coach? I'm like, Sasha BetRivers. You was like, yo, you said, Reg, listen, if you don't ever listen to nothing I tell you, don't go play for him, bro. I remember you was like, yo, don't do it.
I was like, I remember telling you, I was like, Reg, I was like, I'm telling you right now, he is the craziest dude you ever want to be around. Like, he actually retired me for a year. Like, literally, I went there for a couple months, because after my 5th year, I was still kind of battling little injuries after not playing for 18 months. So the second year, they said you kind of get your feet back into you after those 2 surgeries. Right. And he was my first coach, and we practiced for 42 days straight, 2-a-days. Yeah. I counted because I was like, okay, preseason, probably about 2 weeks because we got games. The game schedule came out. And we still practicing 2-a-days in the season, 42 days straight. My knee was about as big as my head. And I was like, yo, I got to go home. I literally just woke up one morning, called the team and said, listen, I'm out. Here's the keys. Here's your gear. Here's everything back. If you ever want your money back, take it. I'm going. Right. I got a ticket at 1, right? I left. But I remember telling you, I was like, Reg, if you go there, you're going to deal with a lot of crazy things. But if you could withstand his the way he practices and trains, I was like, you'll be a freak, because even though my knee was this big, I was still in like crazy shape doing some things, but I just couldn't recover fast enough. So I would, have my days and then bad days. But when I was on, it was like not even a quarter. I'd be on for like 3 days, and then for 3 days, I just can't even move. But and I remember telling you that.
Yeah, no, dude was different. He had us doing 2-a-day practices in the playoffs. The playoffs. I'm like,
the playoffs. After a 9-month season.
I'm like, this don't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Like, people, I should tell people, they don't understand. Like, I left because I didn't think I would be able to explain to people that, I lost my freedom because I got into it with somebody named Sasha. They would think, I had some domestic dispute over there. No, I wasn't a woman. It was a dude. Like,
it's a crazy
coach
dude.
would, get into it with his players would fight him. And it was kind of odd because when I got to the team, we were just EuroLeague. He had just retired the year before. So everyone was saying like, oh yeah, he was on a team. And I had, 2 guys who were on the team returning who were his teammates. And it was like, oh yeah, like he don't even really practice like that. Like, this probably gonna be whatever. So I had him his first year coaching. Reg, he retired me for a year. That's all I gotta say. We were playing, we were playing with, you know how every team has, their younger team. We would constantly bring, like our D-League team, would constantly bringing up like 17-year-olds because all our players are getting hurt.
Yeah, dudes is hurt. For sure.
So you win a championship with Berlin. You win MVP of the league too?
No, I should have won MVP. They got me.
Oh,
they got me though. I should have won it. It was crazy though. It was cool because like that was the year I think KD had that speech to his mom, was like, yo, you the real MVP. After I got snaked for MVP, we played, and our gym in Berlin held like 15,000 people. The whole gym was in there. Like You had signs up, you the real MVP. I'm on
Yeah.
the free throw line. I was getting a chance. I'm like, yo, this feel kind of crazy.
Correct. Yeah. I was always so happy to see guys at Nova who might not have that career, that they wanted. That's a fear. You go to college, everyone comes in there, someone out of high school doing well. Then you go to college and you can continue that success. But certain things, dynamics change, and maybe, things don't work out. But then, then you gotta go to a pro. It's like starting all over again. But you started all over Cyprus, grinded it out. Now you on a big stage like Berlin, like you playing EuroLeague, you playing against all NBA players. Like you're essentially in NBA. So now you doing your thing over there. You the man. I'm coaching over here in Philly. We meet up again in Vegas. Now I see you on the Summer League roster. How did that go?
Yeah, when we was out there, me, you, and JJ, I think A-Ray was living out there at the time.
Yeah,
right?
A-Ray was living out there
A-Ray
too.
pulled up when we got together. So that was after my second year in Berlin. So this is what happened. My second year in Berlin, the Hawks called Atlanta, because that's who I played Summer League with.
Yes.
Atlanta called. They go, if we don't trade for a backup point guard, like a veteran, by the trade deadline, we're going to bring in somebody from overseas. And you're one of the finalists that we're going to bring in, that we're thinking about bringing in. So I'm like, word, bet. So they're like, yeah, they came over to watch a game. We played against Barcelona. Barcelona is always good.
Yes.
I knew they was there, Kurt. I ball out, bro. I ball out. I think I had like 28 and 8 or something,
Yeah.
8 boards, 8 rebounds, 20. Getting 20 overseas is a good 35.
That's 35. If your ranking
40.
is like if your ranking is at least in the 20s, you got a couple of steals, assist blocks. That's all you care about. Yeah.
Right. I ball out. We go we go out to eat afterwards and talking and stuff. And then they go, I didn't have a buyout in my contract. I didn't have one. So they like, listen, if we want you, is your team going to let you go before we dive deep into it? My team won't let me go, bro.
Oh, that's what happened.
Bro, will not let me go. They was like, we're not letting you go because it's past the deadline. We won't be able to bring in another player, and we're trying to win the championship. I'm like, yo, do y'all not understand like this is like my dream? Like I want to play in the NBA and I could get an opportunity. They wasn't trying to hear it. So I forget who the Hawks end up getting. So then it's about maybe like January. The Hawks, they moved on. They like, listen, we still want you to come out, play summer league with us. And we talk about like a little training camp deal or something. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm pissed off. Then I get a contract from a team in Turkey, and it's a lot of money. So I'm like, whew. But they sent me the contract in January, and they wanted it back. You know how overseas.
They want to know. I sent it to you at 8:15.
They wanted at
8:20. But sign or off the table.
Right. Now, so look, I'm trying to hold out. I got my agent. I'm like, yo, call the Hawks. Tell them, like, give me a little guarantee, something. Like, you know what I mean?
All
they keep saying is summer league and a non-guarantee, like training camp deal. I'm like, yo, I can't pass up on this bread, man.
We've been through it. I ended up in Europe because I couldn't pass up what was being offered. And I had something that was like, hold on, give me like another week. Let me figure. I'm like, but they saying right now, man. If I was
now,
Germany, man, like I'm in Germany. I can't,
I remember I called my pop and I'm like, Dad, I got a situation. And he like, what's wrong? And I tell him, and he like, there's some good money. How much the money? I tell him, he like, I don't know what you thinking about. You got to go take that money.
You got to take that. Yo, you know who gave me that advice one time? John Haynes, man, one of my all-time favorite old heads. I was telling him a situation, and I was thinking, like, I want to play over here, but they offer me this. I said, but this team over here offered me this crazy amount of money. I said, but I'm never going to make it if I go play over there.
Right.
I said, because that's how he was like, boy, are you crazy? He said, you better take it, but do what you gotta do. And I was like,
Right.
okay, that was some of the best advice. Like, you don't turn down that money that's
Right.
guaranteed, on something that you kind of hoping for. Just gotta trust your instinct, man. And I'm glad you did it. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it helped you out better.
But what I did was when I signed it, I made sure I got an NBA out in my contract.
Right, you live and learn.
You live and learn. So the Hawks was like, all right, cool. Come down. I went to Atlanta that summer. I was out there for like 2 weeks hooping and all this. And I'm out there hooping. I'm getting to it. Mm-hmm. They like, I think right before like summer league, a couple days before summer league, they had made a trade or something and got a different pick in the draft. And they was going to pick Taurean Prince and they picked DeAndre Bembry from St. Joe's.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
They was like, listen, we picked two rookies coming in. We got, your position. They're like, we ain't see this coming. They was like, so it ain't really going to be nothing here for you, but we'll still love if you came to Summer League with us. And I'm like, honestly, I only get about 8 weeks home in the summer. I'm not trying to spend 2 weeks in Vegas. Right.
The train, yeah.
To do nothing. I'm not going to get signed enough. And they like, come on, just come out, just do it, So I ended up going out to Vegas and playing Summer League with them that summer. But I'm happy I went because it was fun. It was like a little cool experience.
Right. Yeah. Cool experience. You can see it. And the good thing is that you definitely, had a different mindset. You know what I mean? You probably explained that to me out there a little bit too. So yeah, when you're going out there, like I'm just coming in to just continue to work on my game, see other people, enjoy Vegas, not with that pressure. I got to make this team because I already know what it is. Right. I guess you can swallow that pill, a little bit easier.
Like I knew when I went out there what I was getting into. You know what I mean? Like they were honest with me before. They was like, we still want you to come. We'd still love if you came, but we understand if you don't want to come. But I ended up going and everything, and it was cool. Then you was out there. JJ was out there coaching, I think, with
we had a Villanova
Villanova get together out there, so it was cool.
So what's life after basketball now, man? You coaching? I remember we talked about that briefly. Now you was, you're a new father and everything, but just this coaching thing now. What's a day in the life of Reggie like?
Man, so now I'm a player development associate with the Sixers. Mm-hmm. So it's a grind, man. It's a grind. I'm the dude that's on the court. Whenever they're on the court, I'm on the court. You know what I mean? No matter what time it is, when it is, how long I've been on the court, I'm getting that sweat equity in.
Right. Sweat equity.
Sweat equity, baby.
Man, that word holds a new meaning to me from that experience. Man. Sweat equity.
Sweat equity
makes you appreciate, man, true value, man. When you notice sweat equity, with others too, who really is putting in that work.
Nah,
so whenever they do.
Nah, that's the truth. But it's been cool. It's definitely been making me miss the game though. Like I miss the competing side of it,
the team,
camaraderie, the going to war with your fellas, you talking a little trash, throwing a couple elbows,
Reg, you only like 6 months in retirement, bro. What's up?
I'm like, yo, listen, I'm
getting only 6 months. Yo, think about this. You can say, yo, I've been working out all year. I've been training all year. I'm in shape. And you got scouts that in the gym all day. I had scouts saying like, hey, man, you need a little reference or something. I was like, nah, I'm done. But hey, you got the best scouts who talk to the best teams. You be like, yo, Reg still got it.
They be saying little stuff like that, but I'm over it. Like, bro,
I know.
Physically, I can go.
Right.
But mentally, I'm over it, man. That just being away, being in Europe, it's a grind, man. But this job been cool, man. I'm around some good coaches that I get to learn from every day. Like I'm around in practice with Doc Rivers every day. You know what I mean? And then you got like Sam Cassell in there. You know what I'm saying? And even to the other coaches who just been around in the league so long and just know the game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
So
know most definitely, bro. And you ground some good leadership too. On the business side. I mean, you got Scott O'Neil. Shout out to Scott O'Neil, Villanova alum. Chris Heck,
Chris Heck,
another Villanova alum.
yeah,
Guys running the
right,
team, managing things. So,
yeah,
Villanova got their footprints all up in the organization, man. I'm glad to have you there. You got Dan, Rossi,
man, Dan Rossi in
running the
the equipment
department.
room,
So
yeah,
I know you guys are in good hands.
mm-hmm.
Leadership all across the board. And I'm expecting, definitely big things from you guys. I'm expecting, big things from you as well, in your development as a coach. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. As I'm hopefully, man, I'm trying to learn, trying to get better every day, but it's different, being on the other side. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a transition that you got to make, and but it's been cool. Like I said, the players been cool. I'm around like great players. That's that's pros, and you see the commitment that they got to their craft. So that's been cool. And then it's also been cool being able to get out there and play with them. You know what
Exactly,
I'm
man.
saying? So that's
They'll
been
still make you feel young, makes
yeah,
you really feel like you're giving back, like you sharing some of your knowledge and your
yeah, for
experience.
sure, bro.
During my time there, I had opportunity to spend 2 years with Joel during all his injuries. So
Mhm.
I was able to talk to him about my injuries and all that I was going through. And I was like, it ain't on
Yeah.
the same
You,
level. I said, because I wasn't in the NBA. I said, but you hear all these talks about people, what they saying about you. I was like, I was hearing that. I was like, this is how, how you
mhm.
deal, me and you in the gym by ourselves. You want to be alone, So those things, when you get on that side of the ball, you start to see like, okay, like what it is to be a good coach, and you start to realize who were the good coaches, you
Mhm.
had in your life.
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Or maybe if you thought that coach wasn't a good coach for some reason, he was like, nah, he really, really was a good coach. You put all
It's
those things
it's
in
funny
perspective.
because I remember when you was working with the Sixers and you was talking about Joel, and you like Reg, nah, this dude is good, man. And I'm like, Kurt, we've been waiting on him for 3 years. Like, you like, nah, Reg, like he different. I'm like, what you mean he different? You like, he not just your regular big man. You like, he
Yeah.
come down the lane, he got step backs, he got this, that. And I'm like, I remember looking at you like, yo, this dude Kurt is smoking crack.
Yo, I forgot I told somebody, yo, Coach Brown shushed me in a meeting because I
No,
said the
I
same
remember, yeah,
thing.
you
And
was
he was
telling
like,
me, no,
okay, so we're gonna go over here. And I was like, all right. I
no,
was like, all
no.
right.
I
All right.
remember you was saying
Yeah.
this, and I'm like, yo, this dude Kurt is out of his mind. And then I saw Joel like on TV, like, and I'm like, yo, this dude Kurt was not lying. And now being in the gym with him, yo,
It's different in the gym than on TV. It looks nice on
bro,
the TV, but on
he
a
one
day
of the
to
best
day,
players I've ever seen in my life, yo.
I said the same. I said
Dog,
the same.
it's ridiculous, man.
Not even, I try to think back and I'm just like, I just don't know, man. I just
Mhm.
don't know. Like,
It's, it's
he's
crazy,
different,
man.
man. He's
He's
definitely
different,
different.
man.
You wait for that consistency. Health definitely plays
Yeah, for sure.
huge part in it.
He's a big
Huge.
dude.
He's a big.
He's a big dude.
I used to say like, yo, they would change the logo. If you stay healthy, they'll change the logo to you, probably, bro. I said, all right,
Bro.
they would
And
change the logo.
it's funny because like one day we was in the gym working out, and he like, what school you go to? And I'm like, I went to Villanova. I was like, but I graduated in 2010. And he goes, oh man, I wasn't even playing basketball yet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was
Bro,
exactly.
and it's 2021. So between that time, he became one of the best basketball players in the world, starting to play at 16.
You could play ever, bro. He was on one leg.
One
You know
leg.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's when I knew we on one leg doing things, and I'm trying to like keep him interested, because he mentally checked out. I was
Mhm.
checked out. I know what it's like. You try to get to a workout. I don't want to be here. I'm not playing. So I'm
Right.
trying to just be, you know, uh, just on the fly, making things creative. And he having fun because he's competitive, but he also converting on everything I'm doing. So I'm like, am I making this too easy? But then I'm
No,
like,
he's
nah,
just
because
that good.
I'm not even able to do it. I'm trying to like do it beforehand and say, okay, well, this work, before, practice it myself. Dude is different. Dude is
Dude is
different.
different, man. Dude is different for sure.
But before I let you get out of here, man, I just want you to say, what you think really quick about this upcoming season with the team. Who do you like on the team, and what do you think we're going to do this year?
From the Cats?
The Cats, buddy.
Cats, man. I went to a practice last week, and I love Colin, aka C Murder. That's what I call him, because he is a killer, bro. C Murder. That's my man right there, man. He not just his game, but like if you see him in practice and you just see the leadership he got, how he ain't afraid to speak up, put guys in their place, but also at the same time let a dude know how good he is. You know what I mean? And
that's the leader.
To let him know, yo, we got to pick it up. You know what I mean? He's a good leader, and the game speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? But I love Colin, and I got a pretty decent relationship with Caleb Daniels when he was redshirt, and I was going up there and getting some workouts in with him and stuff, and talking to him. So I'm looking forward to him, and I'm actually this season I'm looking forward to see what Slater going to do, man. I think he's a big key of the success Nova can have. And then out of the freshmen coming in, I like Longino, and it's just not because he wear number 15. I like his game.
Is he he's the all-time leading scorer in Germantown, right?
Yeah, I know he went to Germantown, so he might be. That's shout out to Al Williams.
Yeah. He took that, snatched that from Al.
Yeah, shout out to Al
was held by a Wildcat. It's all right. We just 1 and 2. It's all right.
Cool,
it's all right. We still up there.
It don't matter. It's all good.
That's good, man. What do you think about we're gonna do this season? You think?
I think we're gonna have a solid
rank,
top 5, right?
Yeah, I think like for top 5 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have a solid season, man. I think them seniors being able to come back for another year, Colin and Samuel, Jermaine Mano, I think that's gonna be key. And then the other dudes who got a year of playing experience and able to come back again, you know what I mean? Like I like Justin Moore. I think he could be solid, and I think he got a chance to be a pro. So I don't know. I think we're gonna have a nice solid season this year.
It's gonna be interesting because you're gonna be watching this year now with your coaching lens on now. Now that you're a coach, you'll be analyzing the game.
It's changed that fast.
You're gonna be seeing things that's happening differently. You're gonna be like, okay, they ran this. You're gonna be recognizing play. The game gonna just look way different now.
I caught myself in practice like that. I was sitting there watching practice, and I'm like, no, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm like, listen to me, man.
Listen to me. Like, look what I to transform into. Let me just make sure my shirt ain't tucked in. You know, I'm going to keep my swag right.
I don't want to have the paper in the back. I'm put my practice swag right. Yeah, but last day before we get off, I started coaching AAU this summer, and this was my first coaching experience. And I'm coaching 9th graders, 15 and under 9th graders. And I'm talking and I'm saying stuff. And one day I caught myself in the middle of talking to them, and I stopped and I'm like, yo, I sound like Coach Wright.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just stopped in the middle of talking to him. I'm like, yo, I sound like Coach Wright. I had to send him a text message, man. I text Coach Wright. I said, listen, Coach, I've been coaching these kids, and I just have to give you my respect for getting guys to play the way you want them to play at that level. I'm trying to get a kid to do the most simple thing, and it's the hardest thing in the world, most frustrating thing in the world. And you had to deal with 12 dudes who was just crazy.
18 to 21.
18 to 21, 19 with everything.
9th grade.
So I'm like, I just had to text you this, Coach, and give you my respect and tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I sound like you as a coach right now. And he started cracking up, man.
It's so true. Yeah, everyone goes through it. You like, who got through to me? This dude got through to me, so I got to use his methods to get through. And with your own personality and things, but it's one of the hardest things to do is to lead. You know what I mean? One of the hardest things to do is to lead. Yeah. And he does a great job. you're going to continue to get better at it. You know what I mean? And then hopefully we'll see you, with your own program, your own, head coaching.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. We're gonna put it out there, and we're gonna be rooting for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. I think it's dope what y'all doing, man. I think we got too much to tell from the main line for it not to be heard, man. Too much.
Oh, for sure, definitely, man. I'm glad to have you. You were a wonderful guest. Who would you like to see up here? Who should I be trying to get up here next? Like I said,
if you want some entertainment. If you want some entertainment, you go Antonio Pena for sure.
That's my next guy because you already know he gonna kill me on here. You know what I mean?
My God, he is gonna kill you. You gotta have it, but it's gonna be pure entertainment, man. That dude that's my guy. You already know me and Tone. That's my man right there.
All right, well, shout out. We Antonio Pena, you up here next.
Pena or Corey Fisher. Get Fisher on here too.
I'm gonna get him too. I'm gonna get them dudes. I already told Malcolm I'm gonna get on here, but I'm gonna try to get Tone soon as I'm gonna try to get Tone for the next episode. So anybody who see this, man, let Tone know. I'm looking for him. Definitely trying to get him on the show. But thanks again, Reg, for having you on the show. We appreciate you. And good luck, the rest of the way.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all.
For sure. And that concludes our show, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to Blue Blood on the Main Line. Have a great one.